We about to open up a whole can of primatology discussion. So sit your candy ass down, because it's monkey time, bitch. Gorilla Radio. Turn that shit to a reasonable volume so as to be considerate of others.
Monkeys go directly to hell. I cannot stress enough the fact that I just joined the call.
I'll be missing you.
You know what? I dig this.
Right.
I dig this.
It's
You were
so
right.
good.
You were right.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 53 of Gorilla Radio Show, everybody. Today, we're reporting to you on a bit of a somber note. Our boy, Mr. Dr. Frans de Waal, has. Why are you laughing?
Because I thought you were going to say Kate Middleton has cancer as a
No! No!
Kate Middleton does have cancer, though.
We don't care.
Let's go.
Die, bitch, die.
I'm rooting for the cancer.
I'm rooting for the cancer.
No, I was going to talk about how Frans de Waal died of stomach cancer.
Who's Frans de Waal?
He's the
Who's
guy.
one of the most famous primatologists of all time.
Yeah, only one of the most famous primatologists, towering giant in the field.
Sorry. Sorry, I don't know about this.
We've been doing this for almost 3 years, Chandran.
I'm not reading the literature. I'm reacting to the literature.
You never read the literature?
You're like a
I
React
don't read-
YouTuber for academic
I
content.
fucking read one of the books. I read the book. I gotta get the book.
Which one did you read?
The Monkey Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I read it. I fucking mostly. I also read it when I was
Monkey Wars.
mostly intoxicated, but I read it.
Yeah.
One day we'll talk about it.
Not today?
No, not today. What is the topic for today?
Who are
You're
we?
our leader. Who are we?
Who are we? What are we doing here?
Well, I figured
What
we would
is
talk about
anything,
Frans de
really?
Waal for a little bit.
Oh, well, you're the only guy who knows anything about him, so.
Okay.
I had no clue who this guy was 30 seconds
You
ago.
want me to scroll through the book for,
Okay, do you know that thing we did where we talked about the two capuchins who were asked to perform the same task but rewarded unfairly?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where one got a grape and one got like a single peanut, and they freaked the fuck out and tried to kill him.
You know how often we talk about small monkeys receiving peanuts and shit as a treat?
We do talk about that a
Every
lot, but I
fucking
do
episode.
remember these jealous little bastards.
I
Yeah.
do remember this, though.
No, yeah.
Continue.
So he was the guy who did that. Basically, Frans de Waal, actual like towering giant, massive inspiration, primatology, big brain haver. He pioneered a lot of crazy stuff. The way he summarized his own career is that he's brought apes a little closer to humans and brought humans down a bit closer to apes.
Good at, you know what? Banger line to go out on.
Yeah, good for him.
I don't think that should have been his last words. If
No,
I
he said
were
this in
him, those would be my.
2014.
I know.
Oh,
but
Frans de Waal is getting a cool, like, Boltzmann-style tune. where it
Yeah,
says
I
that.
think he should get the marble chimpanzee gargoyle, like I suggested.
he
Well, that's
should.
what we gotta get for you when you die.
Well, yeah, but I think he also
Maybe
deserves
he
it.
deserves
When you
No,
tragically
wait.
when you
He also
tragically
deserves
kill
it.
yourself at age 27 after struggling with years and years of mental illness, that's what we're gonna put on your tube.
Wow, let's go to.
And then we're gonna profit off of it.
27 is not that far away, Greg.
Yeah, you're really lowballing here. That's like not that far
If
away.
I was gonna kill myself at 27, we got like less than a year, like a year and 3 months. So
Shit, we
You
gotta
know,
hurry
die-
the fuck up.
Dying in your listen, I've always
You
held
gotta die
the
at the
belief that dying in your
27
20s
club.
is beautiful and is tragic, and everybody should aim for it.
it's old enough for that. Nobody can be like, oh, he never got to fuck. But like it's young enough where you're like, oh, he had so much in front of him.
He had
you
so
know?
fucking much in front of him, dude.
He had so much in front of him, but at least he got to fuck. Like when a 17-year-old dies, you're like, fuck, did that kid die a virgin? That would suck.
Is that your first thought? When
Sometimes, like when you read a book about like World War II, and it's like all these 16-year-olds who enlisted to be with their buddies, and then they got like blown up immediately when they hit the beach. And you're like, oh, did this kid ever fuck?
No
unless
way.
they did like a group JO.
Unless he's signing up with his war buddy.
That's not sex.
They be fucking in the trenches.
I think a group JO counts as sex.
I don't think a group JO counts.
It's a sex act.
It's a sex act, but like
it's sexual assault. It's sexual misconduct.
That's sexual misconduct. For sure.
Not always, is it?
Always.
Okay. Back to the episode.
What else? What other? Did you have a monkey topic to talk about other than him?
Not really.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Okay,
I figured voicemails and we riff on this. Can you like?
We don't have any more voicemails.
Okay. I mean, there's a couple of things we can talk about.
We can always just start over. We also should probably say our names.
It's a little too late for that.
Well,
We'll just start the episode here. Honestly, this whole thing was like forgettable. Let's just start over. Okay, let's just start the episode over. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 53 of Gorilla Radio Show. I'm Greg, and these are my co-hosts.
Chandran. You can find me on Twitter at...
We're not plugging yet.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm plugging right now. Find me on Twitter at Moon's Gift. I post great.
I'm Austin. Anyways.
Not anyways. Welcome them to the episode.
I don't know. We already did an intro.
We've done this 53 times.
We're going back old school. We're just gonna do an intro over and over and over again until we have something presentable to the world to put at the beginning of the episode.
Let's just keep doing it again, so that we can actually market this as more than one of us making a dick joke on Twitter. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gorilla Radio Show. Hold on.
We're so back, baby.
Everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 53 of Gorilla Radio Show. I'm Greg, and these are my monkeys, Austin and Chandran. No, that sounds racist.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You can't say that. Why did I say
anyways, no, it's fine. We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. We're rolling with it. I'm Austin.
I'm Chandran.
We're rolling with it. So
today we're talking about a dead anthropologist.
Yeah, today. Okay, well,
he was a towering figure in anthropology, but you know what? Like all men, he must die.
I just Google this: dead anthropologist.
Sorry to say it.
Whoa, who's David Graeber? Oh, this guy died a long time ago.
Wait, Graeber's dead?
As of September 3rd, 2020.
I didn't know he died. Damn.
Today we're talking about two dead anthropologists.
Yeah, hold on.
Frans de Waal and David Graeber.
So we're starting out this episode on a bit of a somber note.
Sorry,
our boy Frans de Waal, Frans de Waal. I'm not sure.
Our boy Franz Ferdinand has heartbreakingly been shot in Sarajevo.
No, Frans de Waal.
How do I say it in the Dutch lands, Greg? France.
I'm assuming it's Franz.
Habsburg royalty. Who gives a shit?
Anyways, so
he looks like he could be Habsburg.
So
he's got a weird face. So I'm sorry to Franz. He's a fine looking guy. He looks like an old guy.
He's dead. What is he gonna do? Complain?
I don't know. He's dead.
Right now,
he doesn't need any more shit on him.
Are we gonna?
He doesn't need any more shit put on him right now. You know, he's going through a lot.
There was a terrorist attack in Moscow.
That's not relevant to the monkey podcast. That's just sad and weird.
Day 900 of the 3-day anti-Fremen operation.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all seen Dune 2 yet? I love when he rides the worm.
I love when he's on that worm, man. So,
this is a terrible memorial for this guy, for the record.
Do you think Frans de Waal would be upset that when 3 morons eulogize him, we are making jokes the whole time?
I don't know.
This is
maybe.
what you do at funerals. You get drunk, you have a few
I
laughs,
don't know.
you try to forget the pain.
No, it's not like that for us in Chandran. Like you and I, we come from cultures where the death of someone, you celebrate their life at their funeral. This motherfucker over here is like a Puritan. It's just all black and sad. Like
I find that
Austin, do you wear the veil? Do they make you wear the veil at the funerals because of your
that's an
girlish good
Italian
looks?
thing. That's an Italian thing.
No,
and they celebrate life during the funeral. You on the other hand, it's Puritan shit. You're like burying them in gravel, and then you're just like now. I
don't know. I think my family.
Here to cut wood for the fire. So you're
no, my family's a bit split on this. In Buffalo, whenever there's a funeral, usually there's people tailgating in the parking
casket
lot.
through a table.
No, like usually they're tailgating in the parking lot, and then there's like the few family members who like made it big, who like call the other ones white trash, and then there's almost a fist fight, and then everyone goes home sad and confused.
To prove that you're all white trash.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's the Mobile of the North. I keep saying this. Actually, you know what? That's not fair to Mobile. I've been to Mobile. It's actually kind of nice. There's nothing wrong with Mobile. It's a city full of culture and history. Buffalo, on the other hand, we should have left that shit to the fucking Quebecois.
Hey, look, we filmed Bruce Almighty there.
Yeah, because there's no other city in America with that many empty office buildings.
So, back to the topic at hand. I talked about this a minute ago. You guys remember us talking about Frans de Waal's work a little bit. We've dabbled in his work. It's primarily, one big thing that stuck out to me is like every like primate sanctuary. I mean, specifically,
is the Monkey Wars a Frans de Waal book?
No, it's a Deborah Bloom book.
Wait, then why'd you bring it up?
Because I was just saying I read the book.
It's a different book. Different author.
That's a different guy.
I was just saying I read a book.
I thought you were reading a book by... Okay.
Frans de Waal wrote Chimpanzee Politics. And
yeah, he wrote Chimpanzee Politics.
And we've definitely talked about Chimpanzee Politics, because we talked about the Gombe Chimpanzee Civil War.
I guess I can see why you made the link, but no, Chimpanzee Politics...
I didn't make a link at all. I was just happy to tell you guys I read a monkey book.
Okay.
When did you read the monkey book?
Well, I drink it I read it every time I have a couple drinks, and I like read a couple pages at a time, and then I just kind of skimmed through the second third of it, or the final third.
Yeah,
because it's just mostly boring. I'm not a primatologist. This shit is not interesting.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing about Frans de Waal is his work very much transcends the primatological like academic niche.
Are you saying he's the Karl Marx of primatology?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I don't see
how he said that in any way.
I'm saying he has a lot to say about humanity when he writes about chimpanzees.
So did Marx when he wrote about economics.
Okay, then fine. Frans de Waal is the Karl Marx of monkeys. Are you engaged now?
You heard it here first. Now I can work on the episode cover.
So, de Waal was a professor emeritus of psychology at Emory. And basically, he wrote this book, Chimpanzee Politics. It's all about like how chimpanzees like facilitate their social interaction, how there's power structures, how there's complex, dynamic group interactions. And a lot of weirdos took that to mean, hey, look, chimpanzees do politics. We should model our behavior after this. And so now we've got like Newt Gingrich recommending this as every Republican in the Senate needs to read this book.
Let me tell you about a guy who looks like a monkey.
Okay. And, and that stigma sort of never wore off, where like Frans de Waal was doing something really beautiful in which he showed that like much of what we take for granted as like the territory of humans is very much not that at all. And we really aren't that special. Emotions, he spent his entire academic career arguing that, emotions are something that has been evolved through millions of years, just like any other organ in the body, just like any other behavior. It's something that is not unique to us. His 2019 book, Mama's Last Hug, Animal Emotions and What They Tell Us About Ourselves, he's basically spent his entire career exploring how really we ain't shit, if that makes sense. But, in addition to being a world-renowned scholar, beloved teacher and supportive colleague, according to this obituary by Emory University. Frans was funny, says one of his colleagues. If a discussion became fraught, he could make just the right irreverent remark to get everyone to laugh and break the tension. So I'd like to think that we're doing an okay thing here. This isn't too disrespectful. He also wrote Different: Gender Through the Eyes of a Primatologist. There's a lot of he's done a lot of interesting work. He basically just like asks us at a fundamental level to re-examine what it means to be a human as opposed to an animal and what is really the difference. If you ask people like John Marx, half this taxonomy shit is fake.
Remember when we spent like 45 minutes discussing how far back in human evolution you can go before you can fuck them and not be bestiality? That's what taxonomy is. This is a bunch of guys at a university doing that, but for real, in real life.
Yeah, but they're being like so dead serious about it.
The Bing AI image generator will not in any way generate me Karl Marx as a gorilla.
Just do German philosopher with long white beard as a gorilla. How about that? Is that gonna work for you?
Because if I can do Marxist primate, and then it gives me a lot of chimps holding a little red book.
That's cool.
That's cool, but it has nothing to do with this episode.
Yeah, see, this prompt has been blocked. You know what it is? It's the image generator trying to not to be racist, so you can't make a person into an ape.
I guess so.
Let's try woke gorilla.
Woke gorilla?
We'll see if he'll make him into Karl Marx. It might work.
So, in the book Different, Frans de Waal, world-renowned primatologist, by the way, draws on decades of observation and studies of both human and animal behavior to argue that, despite the linkage between gender and biological sex, biology does not automatically support the traditional gender roles in human societies. That's a little summary on the W.W. Norton Company book website. So, it's a lot of stuff that we take for granted now is like, yeah, of course that's true. Of course animals feel emotions. Of course there's no inherent link between gender roles and, your biological sex. But this is stuff that he did the dirty work. He dug in deep. He got in there and he proved that shit,
I think this is as close as we're getting.
Did you get a good one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see it.
My results were pretty useless.
That's pretty decent.
That's almost.
I don't think Karl Marx had like a fuckboy like Zayn Malik haircut though.
Yeah.
What kind of hair did it? Was Marx bald?
He wasn't bald.
No. He had
hair. He had beautiful hair.
He had that like I don't know.
I just keep generating this over and over again until it gives me
okay. So
it's crazy how many of these episodes turn into you talking about gender, Austin.
No, I'm just.
Why is that?
I'm discussing the wide body of.
So why are you drawn to Frans de Waal's literature about gender?
Because that's just one of the many things he's done. Another interesting thing regarding gender and Frans de Waal is that these sort of we've talked about this before, but the way that this sort of manosphere has latched onto his ideas for some reason.
Manosphere?
Are you not like right wing incel dudes?
Why
like
would
Jordan
I be in on what right-wing incel dudes are doing? I don't.
Fair enough.
I'm like
Jordan
the least
Peterson.
Like Andrew Tate
person
and Jordan
yeah.
Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. You know Jordan Peterson. Don't tell me you don't know Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I know
Andrew
Jordan
Tate.
Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, that's the manosphere.
Much like how Newt Gingrich recommended everyone in, the Republican Senate read Chimpanzee Politics as like a sort of how-to guide and not as like a
piece of scientific
DeWaal,
documentation.
like intended it to be, which is just like a sort of not like satirical, but like a commentary on how complex animal societies are and how we really organize ourselves in a way that is not like inherently unique necessarily. Like it is, but not really.
We're not the only things with like complicated social structures out there, basically.
Jordan Peterson, though, he like much like Newt Gingrich took this book and was like, the wonderful world-renowned primatologist Frans de Waal, he actually proved that hierarchy is inherent in nature, and therefore something about lobsters and women should be brushing my feet at all times, like stuff like that, And I feel like, okay, what's this? Oh, that's really. You can't really tell. It's
so
close.
good.
It's getting
but
closer.
Also, is that
This one's
okay?
racist. This
Yeah,
one's
that
racist.
one's
That one-
racist.
Yeah, that one doesn't.
But we're getting there.
That one's pretty good.
That one's pretty good. We're gonna hold on to that one, and I have 5 more attempts at this. But it did let me finally add Karl Marx to the end of the query.
Yeah. So
We've got German chimpanzee philosopher, long white beard, 1850s Karl Marx.
So I'm gonna also read this little thing the Washington Post, our dear friend, the Washington Post, close associate of the pod, wrote about Frans de Waal as well. This part's actually just quoting de Waal, but de Waal said, "I hate the so-called ivory tower of science and feel that I have an obligation to communicate with the general public." And that's
Preach.
not to toot our own horn here or like say we're just like this guy for real, but like that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to be like normal and communicate scientific knowledge to like people who are on their way to work and just want to listen to
people who have to DoorDash all their food.
No,
if you do that, you specifically need to stop listening right now.
Yeah.
Check in.
Yeah, you're not entitled to peasants serving you.
However, we will spoon feed you this gorilla content.
We will do that for you.
Give us money, please, though.
So one of Dr. de Waal's favorite tales was about Kuni, a bonobo, a primate found in central... Oh, we know that shit. Okay, a bird slammed into the walls of her glass enclosure at a British zoo. Kuni gently picked up the stunned bird and took it to the top of the tallest tree in her habitat. She unfolded the bird's wings and set it loose like a toy airplane. The bird was still too disoriented, and Kuni watched over it for hours until it could fly away. Now, some people might say, oh, that's anthropomorphizing. They're just curious creatures. They just want to see what happened. But, there's merit in like doing observations like this. That's even if it's entirely just what we're getting out of it, like some kind of confirmation bias. There's the whole Japanese school of primatology where the whole thing is explicitly anthropomorphizing them to try to understand, their behaviors from a reference point, and maybe it teaches you something about your own behavior as well. Science is completely subjective and not real, so it's fine. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Either approaches develop some kind of idea or some kind of thesis, or meant to do that. However, I think they're stupid little monkeys and they don't know what they're doing. They're just animals. They're so stupid.
It's crazy
They're nothing like
how
us.
many people we have to kill.
So, but yeah, de Waal also was a research scientist at the Yerkes National Primate Research Center at Emory. But we talked about this in like episode 2. Yerkes was he was a bad dude. He was a weirdo. He was a real
terrible guy,
real sicko. Primarily because he was just a eugenicist, and that's why he got into primate stuff. Was just to try to do eugenics.
We gotta figure out a way to stop doing that.
We gotta figure out a way
to keep the eugenicists out of the field.
And
Why have y'all failed to do this so far?
Well, the thing is,
why have you specifically, personally?
I've massive failure on my part. No, the thing about science, especially like anthropology, is that it has a long history, just like all science, of people take what is useful to capital and what is useful to power, or what is useful to regime, and they take that and they leave what is not useful. Back when the anthropologists in 1940s France were making the Museum of Man, they had they were studying how man is, how they're different, what their differences are, and one way they did that was exhibiting bones from different cultures around the world. The way they did this obviously was like colonial explorers, because they're French, like killed people and then boiled their bones to preserve and send back to a museum. Terrible, obviously, but they pretty much eventually like figured out, hey, there's not that much difference between like humans. Like this whole race thing, this isn't real. This is a completely made up category that we've just fabricated. And sort of the general French public was like, that's cool. What we're going to take away from that is not that. We're actually going to, as soon as the Nazis invade, fold and say this is all proof that race science is true and correct. As soon as you publish something, the work becomes just the public's, and you lose it. Like,
yeah, these fucking crackers out here ruining everything.
You can't really control. The only way you can really control how your work is used is to be like very specifically like ideological, and the only like anthropologists who were brave enough to do that were like, I don't know, the Soviets or something. That's why but I don't know.
That's why they're all dead.
Look, the Soviet model for museums genuinely became the model for anthropology in museums in a progressive way rather than like a eugenicist fascist way for like most of the 20th century. Even though like the Soviet model wasn't like perfect either. It wasn't like they were just doing it for scientific. Honestly, they were also doing it to figure out how to integrate all the parts of the USSR into like a single monoculture, which whether that's possible or desirable is, whatever.
No, it is, and it could have been achieved if not for the capitalist dogs in the West.
Yeah, true. But also, going back to
the fundamental issue of capitalism, it tries to keep us from realizing all men are brothers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And only by doing crazy fucked up experiments on monkeys can we figure out
Can we really figure that
out?
So, in other books and lectures, he described a problem solving such as two chimpanzees joining forces to lug a heavy box, or signs of apparent compassion, with male chimps taking over care for the young when females were absent. He helped popularize the term alpha male, but he didn't intend it as like a swaggering victor, but as a leader who shows care and judgment for the entire group. This is paraphrasing the Washington Post article, but it's also just things we've talked about before.
So he didn't mean it in the based and red-pilled way.
Yeah, like this is what I mean with the connection to the modern day like manosphere, where people are like, oh, chimpanzee, like I blame Joe Rogan, first of all. Let's go ahead and just say I blame Joe. Whereas, oh, chimpanzees are so badass and alpha, they just beat the shit out of guys and take what the... No, like we do we shit talk chimpanzees a lot on this show, but like chimpanzees are in their social interactions, they are not just the strongest wins, beat the shit out of the weak little cuck chimps. Really, just the strongest leaders are the ones who can show wisdom and compassion and share equitably among, the chimpanzee group.
But also, it's big enough to not get fucked around with.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit. You gotta keep that thing on you.
Speaking of chimpanzee interactions, I was listening to some old episodes today.
Oh, of us,
yeah. And I was listening to one of the episodes when I was in Spain, because I was like, I wonder what I was thinking when I was in Spain. I want to listen to that episode.
What was thinking?
And I got the episode.
Nothing else.
I got to the episode where I went to the Barcelona Zoo, and just to show you how complex these social interactions are, I was describing this female gorilla just falling back onto her back in front of I guess the alpha male.
Yeah.
And just throwing her legs open and being like,
Come fuck
this.
Take me as I am.
Come fuck this pussy.
Hey, yo.
They're really just like us.
They're just like me for real. Sometimes I just lay down, bust it open. Come fuck this pussy.
So, but yeah, actually, okay, so this is actually clarifying what I was saying earlier much better. So, Newt Gingrich specifically advocated Dr. de Waal's book as reading for freshman GOP congressmen as a guide on how to get ahead in politics, which is insane. Not at all what Dr. de Waal was saying. And he actually came out, de Waal, and lamented that his concepts of alpha males and chimpanzee politics had been completely hijacked by Republican politicians. He actually became so dismayed during the 2016 election campaign that he added a clarifying message to one of his books saying, "Merciless tyrants do sometimes rise to the top in a chimpanzee society," but added that the most successful alphas are typically not necessarily the biggest, strongest, meanest ones around, since they often reach the top with the assistance of supporters. Most alphas protect the underdog, keep the peace, and reassure those who are distressed. So basically what he's saying is he is, in fact, the Karl Marx of chimpanzees, and he is, in fact, telling us that communism is the only way forward.
So okay, you know what? We tied it around. We got there eventually.
We're back.
Greg, you can use that. You can use that thumbnail now.
Oh, that's the cover art. I don't give a fuck if it was wrong. That was it.
I feel like it was. I feel like until this moment in the episode, it would have been totally wrong. It would have just been totally out of left field. It would have been insane.
But now Now, see, folks, this is a window into our process. I'm making the cover art before we've even figured out what the episode is.
This is a real fly-by-wire operation, if you haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, look, whatever happened to just riffing on a topic? Whatever happened?
People aren't riffing
I
anymore.
feel like maybe we riff too much. If we riff too much, nobody listens to us because we just sound like three imbeciles.
Yeah, but sometimes we got to do that.
Remember when we did those serious episodes thinking it would give us a better audience, and
nobody
listens
to
those episodes?
Yeah.
Nobody listens
People
to those
were just
episodes.
like, yeah, the Congo series was too depressing.
Oh, sorry, we did hours and days of research.
sorry, life sucks.
Sorry we did actual shit for once, and you assholes repaid us by those being, I'm pretty sure, our lowest videos.
It's
our
fine.
lowest, like, what is our stats on that? Anchor.
People just want to hear us get drunk and say slurs about monkeys.
Log in.
Look, here's the thing. I get it, but that series was for us. We wanted to talk about like why primates are in a weird position right now, and why primatologists can't just go to the Congo and fix all the issues.
We should kill all those fucking people.
Who?
I don't know. Anybody listening at home, you just think about.
No, the Belgians.
Okay.
That's where we
Belgians,
walked away with that series from. We should.
Well,
kill
we
the
did walk
Belgians.
away from that series with we need to kill Belgians. I'm going to go ahead and check our analytics on this episode real quick. Our fucking Congo episodes, they're like at the bottom of the rankings. One of our Congo episodes, I think it's the first one, Gorillas in the Mist, it is our fourth worst performing episode.
Jesus.
It has 400 total plays. Dude,
I was staying up all night in India to write
check us
that
out
shit.
on Twitch. The come check us out on Twitch snippet has 270.
Why are you not listening to the Congo series, y'all? It's a good
Well,
series.
you motherfuckers! It took us so long to do that.
Is it really bad secretly? And I just don't remember.
No, it was really good.
No,
and then
was
the other ones,
depressing, I guess.
and
I
then
don't
the
know.
other ones, like you got. So the worst one has 409, and then you've got 520, 540, 657 for the last one, and then our best episode ever is somehow still Apes in Space. I don't.
Well, that's where
It's got
people
almost
start.
2,000 listens. It's got almost 2,000 listens.
Yeah.
But then, like, I guess, like, here we go. Monkey Hate. That's our best performing, like, special episode. That isn't in the first 5 episodes.
I mean, that one was a genuinely really interesting and topical thing, which
I know. It
I
would
guess
be
we
really
can-
cool if you fuckwits would listen to the one that we spent hours researching
It's
and months
fine.
planning.
look, I get it, but this is also for me. I learned a lot. I hope the people who tuned in for the Congo series learned a lot about the ethics of research and the legacy of colonialism in this sort of stuff. But they also like to hear us be goofy and silly.
Oh my god, wait. Did they add non-binary to the gender slide?
Let's go.
No, it's always been
It's
there.
16% of our listeners.
Our beautiful non-binary
people-
listeners.
Non-binary people
Also-
are what, 0.0 something of the population?
How do they know that is the thing? Because like,
You can put it in there
Self-reporting.
on your Spotify.
do you put on Spotify?
You
that
listen
you're
to
non-binary?
so much Stevie Nicks. I'm assigning you non-binary.
Yeah, I don't know. You've been listening to a lot of like 100 Gex, like oh my god, yeah. You've been listening to like fucking breakcore lately. We're gonna go ahead and put you
Non-binary.
in
Drum and
non-binary.
bass? Really? Okay.
Wow.
I see.
But also,
You're not 40.
We've upped our age stats. Our age stats we're finally peaking in the 23 to 27, which means you people have jobs.
And should be giving us money at patreon.com/Gorilla Video
Patreon.
Show.
Exactly. Less than 1% of our listeners are in Northern Ireland.
Damn.
Go home.
Get out of there, you freaks.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna scroll up a bit to another couple things I wanted to talk about. But speaking about like research ethics and like, you know, conclusions that can be drawn about gender politics and primates, you know, there is also an article that was published recently that is like a no-brainer to me, like, duh, stupid, idiot, duh. But I guess maybe not for everyone, hence why it was, you know, published for emphasis, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, male power over females is not the default social dynamic in primates, according to this study. Essentially, it's called Evolutionary Patterns of Intersexual Power. Simple summary is social inequality is pervasive in primates, with male-biased power often assumed as the default condition. We tested this assumption with a broad dataset and explored factors that might make some types of intersexual power more likely to evolve, such as males being larger than females and skewed sex ratios, etc., etc. But basically, like,
so we're really questioning the assumption that we've all been making, that if these chimp dudes are smashing so much puss, are they really the ones in charge? Is that really the case? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
is that what
I would make an argument that chimpanzees are, at least to an extent, co-dominant. Like, it's sort of like they're relegated to, like, the female chimpanzees have control over the female chimpanzees, and the males have control over the males, and it's assumed that the top female is subservient to the male. But, like, so basically, the team reviewed literature on 79 primate species, dividing them into male-dominant, female-dominant, or co-dominant categories, and then analyzed which variables correlated with these social patterns. They found that male-biased power is more likely to develop in species in which males had larger body sizes and longer canines, but female power may emerge when the supply of available female mating partners is lower than male demand, thus giving the females in those species
they're going on
greater
sex
social
strike.
leverage.
I see.
Which is kind of... It's very funny that incels make this argument, considering that there are just objectively more women than there are men in the world.
It's a skill issue. But if you're an incel, it's a skill issue.
It is kind of a skill issue, sorry.
You guys are just fucking unlovable.
Yeah, fix your soul. Fix your heart.
Maybe if you weren't obsessed with trying to figure out why women won't talk with you, maybe you'd have more time to be interested.
Simple as.
Pretty much every, like, major category of primate, if that makes sense, has non-male dominated species to some extent. Basically, like, we know,
including humans. You should see the shit Kim does to Austin in the bedroom.
That's not what I'm... Hold
up. This motherfucker on St. Andrew's Cross. It's crazy.
So basically,
Austin
the idea here is
down most of the time in the bedroom.
So
they got Austin in that. She's got Austin in that vacuum sealed latex cube.
They're putting me in the cube. Anyways, the study found that no particular pattern of intersexual power can confident.
She got Austin ordering all his own meals on DoorDash.
That's not true. So,
how much DoorDash do y'all use, Austin?
Not very much, actually. I've been able to break Kim free of these chains.
How often do you use it, Chandran?
Like once every couple of months.
Yeah, I'd say like once every couple of months. I'm like really hungover and want Chipotle, but don't want to go there.
Yeah.
The worst I ever do is pizza delivery.
I like to do when it's too rainy or snowy. I'll have my food slave.
When it's rainy, yeah, that's what I do.
It's totally unethical, but it's like at the same time, if they're confident enough to be driving in this. If they're confident enough to be driving in this,
who am I to stop them?
Let's give you a shot.
That's the problem. They're not, and then they take some 4 hours to get to you, and your shit's cold.
Yeah, they're not. They're actually just desperate enough.
Idiots are always ordering DoorDash, and then you're like, "Oh, the food's so bad. It's bad because it's been in some guy's car for 45 minutes." While he's
I hope he's eating fries from the bag.
He's been hotboxing the entire ride over.
A little bit when I was.
He's got 5 dudes in the fucking car.
I was stealing food.
Bro, they're farting all over your food. It's so
gross. Your food is full of farts.
And you know it smelled crazy in that car. That's why your shit always come out a little weird.
What's this interesting tang? It's got a bit of a bite to it tonight.
Yeah, that's a guy named Abdul's ball sweat.
Yeah, no. For the record.
Real talk. Hold on. I've noticed. All right, I hate it here. All right, let me make that clear. I hate Utah, and I hate how non-diverse it is. But somehow, in the whitest city in the world, I've never had a white DoorDash driver. It's always somebody. I'm like, how the fuck did you get here? Because it's like some guy with like a name that you would only find in like Central Africa. How did you wind up in Salt Lake City? DoorDash
missionaries.
Well, yeah, actually,
probably
that could be. But yeah, I mean, like. It just goes to show that your DoorDash driver is not very confident in his driving ability. He's just in a place socially where he's desperate enough to do anything for money, and that's why he's delivering your treats in the blizzard.
Also, I said this, I think, last episode. None of you are prepared to give anything up for revolution. If you need DoorDash that bad, just give up. Just start voting for Democrats and stop talking to me about politics. All right?
Yeah.
That's what you are. You are a Democrat. You are a right-wing neoliberal. That is what you are.
We hate to agree with Will Stancil, folks, and we don't. However, that thing he said about so-called communists on Twitter gauging like their displeasure with the economy based solely off of how expensive it is to get McDonald's. Just don't eat McDonald's, motherfucker. Get something else.
Go
Just
to
make
the
your own
grocery store.
We need to bring back grocery stores.
I'm going to be so real. All right. Even if you live in a food desert, right?
Which the people complaining
Do not.
making these arguments are not.
People
They're not.
complaining don't. All right? You
Look,
live a block away from a Trader Joe's. But the people who live in a
people
food
who
desert,
live 30 minutes from Walmart just go to Walmart anyway.
Yeah. And if you live in a food desert, right? Generally, you're in a couple of different places. You're in an inner city where there's just simply no grocery stores because it's the inner city. And then in that case, you know who carries groceries, folks? 7-Eleven has groceries. You can buy eggs and milk and fruit and sometimes even vegetables. 7-Eleven's in the shitty part of town near me. They sell vegetables. You can like buy shit there. All right? Also, the only other thing is if you live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and in that case, you usually have a Dollar General, which guess what, folks? Sells groceries.
It's not good groceries,
But
and
it is
that's very tragic.
groceries.
But it's food.
You do not need to DoorDash.
Well,
a
also
McChicken.
DoorDash isn't an option for those people, so it's not even really relevant.
Yeah. When I say it's crazy how many people we got to kill, I mean like 99.9% of all people on Twitter who claim they're communists.
And that includes us.
That's true. You know what? I'm with it. For the greater good. Absolutely.
You know, I'll go down with this shit.
I'm fucking...
Anything to bring it down.
Look, you're not
anything.
You're not a struggling son of a coal miner in Appalachia.
Nope.
You live in
Shut the fuck
you
up.
live in Asheville.
This is
You
the-
live in
Nobody's
Asheville.
struggling son of a coal miner in Appalachia
They
anymore.
They need to kill us. I'm rooting
None
for
of
them
you.
to kill us.
President Xi, please send 1,500 Dongfang 12 intercontinental
Okay.
ballistic missiles my way.
Eliminate.
Let's
this
get back
wretched
on
country
topic
from
for a
this
second.
Wretched nation.
Let's get back on topic for a second.
Save my country, my people are dying.
Okay, wait. Actually, before we get back on topic for a second, I just need to say something very funny. That
Yeah.
speaking of like food deserts and like
Mhm.
bumfuck nowheres,
Yeah.
me and Chandran and Kim were in Concord, and we
Sure
were like,
were.
let's go for a night out in Concord. The downtown, the road is torn up. It's fenced off. It's been destroyed.
The main road
There's
down
like
in
one.
Concord downtown.
We went
yeah.
to the only bar. We got drunk off of an IPA that I can only assume is racist.
Oh yeah, it was called like Carolina Cotton or something. And
Yeah,
you ordered
yeah.
so many of them. Like you got the
Were they
first
good?
one, and I was like, Austin, is that beer called Carolina? Like he's already halfway through it. I'm like, is that beer called Carolina Cotton? And he's like, yeah, like it can't be called that, man. You can't call beers that. He's like, oh no, it's pretty good. And then he ordered like 2 more.
So Chandran was like, I really need a nicotine fix. And so we thought we would go to
Oh,
a hookah bar.
I was
And we're like,
really
man,
hoping for a hookah
What
bar
is
in
with
Concord.
hookah bars? What
there
is
are no
with-
hookah bars in Concord,
There
but
shouldn't be
there's
hookah bars
but
anywhere.
there's-
It's always filled with guys who like sell used cars.
Okay,
but there's
fucking asshole, Jesus Christ.
but there is
I'm sorry. That's the vibe.
Hold on. Let me finish this and then we'll go back to the topic. There's one hookah bar in Concord on maps,
Yeah.
and it's
Just a house.
we showed up to this place. It's just someone's house. We're
yeah.
knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, and then we're like, "What the fuck is going? Why aren't they answering?" It says they're open. We check Google Maps, and it says by appointment only. Then we take a closer look at the review photos. It's just some guy's house, and it's like 3 guys smoking hookah on the back porch. He just
That's awesome.
he put his own home in as
Like they had a
business.
folding
That's
table
awesome.
and like a birthday
And like
party
the Minions
plastic-
table
yeah, like
cover.
like a kid's birthday
Fuck
table
yeah.
cover.
Fuck yes.
I had like hookah stuff
That's
on it. I was
awesome.
like, damn.
The worst part is that like the music was playing loud as fuck is there, and when we rang the doorbell, the music turned down for a minute, and then they like looked at us and they like turned it back up and ignored us, and we're like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, hookah.
You know that
Yeah.
shit probably happens to them daily.
Yeah, I mean, maybe don't put
We
your
were
home
pretty
on Google
we were
Maps,
pretty
people.
drunk. I don't know how many people are stupid enough to walk up to a house and knock on it and be like, "Can you let us in?" To be fair, they had a big sign out there. It was a
Did they
combination hair and nail salon and hookah bar.
Oh, it smelled crazy in that house. Just like hair chemicals and hookah.
Just taking one step in there, the noxious fumes knock you on your ass.
Kill you.
So, back to this study. Basically,
No, who cares?
no, come on. It's a primatology podcast. We gotta do some primatology. We gotta make our boy Frans de Waal proud.
He's dead.
So
I'm
primates
gonna hit his
have...
Frans de back walls.
Oh, paint him white, baby.
Okay, don't do that. So primates.
That's what we were talking about, right? Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I mean, like
he's gonna be Frans de pregnant when I'm done with him.
Okay.
Look, I know he was a funny guy and he liked jokes, but I don't know how I felt about these ones.
Please continue.
Popping that pussy wide open.
So, primates
You're gonna
have
be
been
burping on
thought
my
to
kids.
be mainly male dominant, which would suggest that male dominance was present in primates from early in their evolutionary history. And this is something that like bros, the
Bro.
dudes would really love
guys.
to be true. That nature is male dominant. That the first like our primate ancestors were all male dominated. And that's why we are the way we are. But a couple problems with that is there's such an occurrence of co-dominance and female dominance, especially in lemurs. Most lemurs are female dominant, and lemurs are the ones that split off like the earliest. So if anything, that's not looking good for us. Fellas, it's not looking great.
Never has.
But also the thing about like gendered or sex-based dominance is that it's also never been very clear cut. Or at least that's what I've found through my thesis research.
I keep saying that about my penis.
Yeah. No, they
It's not
don't.
very clear
What?
cut.
That's not true. Okay.
Hey, no, that is indeed what the doctor said.
Yeah. Not very clear cut.
That's the only
So-
context anybody's gonna have. They're gonna have no context for that one.
I'm not gonna tell him anything else yet.
So this assumption of ancestral male biased power isn't true. But also when people like just de facto assume that all lemurs are female dominated, it's interesting because I found that like there's very conflicting reports in the primate that I'm studying, the red-ruffed lemur. In fact, some of the literature I found has suggested that males handle territorial marking and things of that nature, while females handle like the actual physical altercations. But like people go back and forth like, oh, are female red ruffs, are they like always the alphas? And like generally like, yeah, they kind of seem like they would inhabit that niche because, some theories say that the males are mostly just there for communicating socially communicating boundaries of territory. And like whenever it comes down to a territorial dispute, they just start screaming and crying. And then like the female alpha just comes up and starts slap fighting with another one, which is very cool. And I think that's how most of animals should do it, actually.
Slap fights. Slap. I mean, that is what a lot of them do. They just kind of like push each other around until they get tired of it.
Which actually, that's a good segue. I can't remember how much I talked about my visit to the Duke Lemur Center, but there's this really funny moment where they had like in the outdoor enclosure these two shifakas. It was a male and a female,
Shifakadu?
and
Oh fuck! That's what we did. This.
No, you did that. We did this.
I didn't say I did. I was doing a different thing.
We chastised you for
We
this last time.
we chastised Greg. Also, Greg, I am doing a different thing. I'm doing, I
What?
think, a minion thing, which is funnier.
What are you talking about? I missed out on like the last 15 seconds.
Don't worry about it, honey. So,
Yay!
Don't worry, your
What's
silly little
happening?
head off.
No, tell me.
Remember what you did for Free Shavakadu on the pod a couple
When I said
weeks
Shivaka?
ago? Yeah. I
did.
I had an instinctual response to the word Shafaka, and I was making funny
Shafaka?
sounds.
I think it was your
Shafaka,
Vine,
Shafaka.
your high school Vine brain
Shafaka.
taking over.
We all listen, to be fair to Greg from a couple episodes ago, we all had that phase. Like we all had a phase where we spent like hours on YouTube and it's just like Vine compilations running because like just need something to listen to.
Yeah.
And then some of us went down the YouTube commentary pipeline.
Is that what happened to you, Greg?
Is that true of you?
I did accidentally go down the alt-right pipeline in like 2015. Like I was like watching like a lot of like Leafy is here type shit.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
so did you hate to say it, so did every white boy in the
Every
state of
white
North
boy.
Carolina.
Yeah.
But you know what? Bernie rescued you from.
No.
No, you were a
You
Trump
actually
guy.
were a Bernie bro?
I voted for Donald Trump in 2016. We've gone
Do
over
you not
this.
remember this, Austin?
We went over
I
this.
don't remember that.
Even the people who listen to the podcast probably know that because I've said it on the podcast a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And then literally days after I did it was like my moment. And I was like, oh no, what did I do?
You're like, fuck, dude.
The only solace I can take in that is that if I had voted for
Hillary?
fuck ran again, Hillary, she wouldn't have won.
Oh, yeah,
North
she
Carolina
lost
anyway.
North
It's not like
Carolina
it was
so
a close
hard.
election. And also,
We deserve Trump.
I was deserved Trump, and I was a bit of a product of my parents' right-wing upbringing. I literally had to go to college and get away for it to go away.
No, yeah, I mean, my parents were both right wingers, but I was cool about it, and I had it was very weird. I was one of those guys who was like, "Oh, politics, that's not my thing," and then
Look at where you are now.
yeah, now look at me,
A non-binary man,
world's first.
he, him, and me. Here to
We're-
give us
I'm not the world's first of that. That wouldn't be true. I'm the
You're a
world's
he,
first.
him, heterosexual.
AMAB, AFAB.
AMAB. I hate you.
What? That doesn't make sense.
You can't be AMAB and then also assigned female at birth. That would make you a. I don't know if I can say this word anymore.
You shouldn't say it. Don't say it.
Scientific term. It's a scientific term, right?
Don't say it.
Is it still the
Don't say
term?
Don't know.
No, I don't
say
think
it.
we. I don't think they. I think they.
Intersex? We just call it intersex now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it intersex now, Greg. I'm glad you're unlearning your behaviors from high school.
I never said things like that in high school. We didn't know any people.
Good for me.
Good for you. Have you?
Come on, let's be so serious right now, Greg. What do you think?
I
Well,
don't know what to think.
until relatively recently, you never fucked at all, and then suddenly you were fucking.
I
So,
had
I
a
don't know.
lot.
Have you
I've
had
had a
time?
lot of gay sex in the past 2 years, but
How was that for you?
soul crushing.
Soul crushing.
Personal question. Which you switch? You switch?
Am I straight? Is that what you're asking me?
No. Are you you bottoming? You topping?
I'm
You switching?
the top. Sorry to say, Greg. Sorry. I
No,
know
that's
you
okay,
were
that's
looking forward
okay.
to getting into this ass.
No.
but-
I was saying that's good because now
That's
we
normal.
can really tag team the shit out of Austin.
Shut the fuck up! You suck. We went a whole episode without you fucking.
Sorry, folks. You ever-
Forgive me,
you ever-
Father, but I'm back to the old
You ever
me.
sit in the front seat of your Ford F-150 truck? Your small, feminine-built male friend in the passenger seat. You reach over and grab his thigh, and he gives you that dewy look in his eyes.
All right, Jesus.
That's the power of a
Christ.
Ford truck. Ford, built tough.
Say something about how the truck bed's enforced, so you can go all night.
Truck bed's been reinforced steel truck bed. Now with its own strap tie down. That we can place all night.
Do you think our
Built tough.
what portion of our audience is going to get really mad at us that we
I don't
use an
care.
AI generated image of Karl
I
Marx?
don't care. I don't
for,
care.
For,
I
our,
don't
for
care.
our thumbnail.
I don't give a fuck. You know what? Everybody be mad at me. You know what happens when people are mad at you online? I get more clicks. Be pissed.
I
don't give a fuck.
am mad that we used AI actually.
Well, I can't generate you that picture.
Well, if you know any artists who'd be
We'll
willing
do
to
it
draw,
for free. We're poor.
who are willing to draw an image of Karl Marx and a chimpanzee, then you know
If you don't like the cover art, don't look at it. Turn your phone off.
pretend it's not there.
Yeah, you guys, there's a button on the side of your iPhone. It turns the screen off. You don't have to look at the fucking picture.
I
If
will
you don't
say
have an iPhone, there's a button somewhere.
there is also in my research.
Can we just like
I
put a
found,
circle around Frans de Waal and do like the gay pointing emoji? Is he gay?
we can't just accuse everyone in the world of being
Better
gay.
than AI.
Why not?
Actually, we can.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why can't I?
Actually, we probably can.
I accuse you of being gay every episode.
One of these days is gonna come true.
Yeah, one of these
So-
days, man.
On the topic of AI, I've been pretty explicit in my position that like I think that AI is a good thing for research, but OpenAI, Elon Musk's little bastard child that is currently the main player in AI right now, is dog shit and mostly hyper inflated for the appeal of like dumbasses and investors, and it's not sustainable in a long term at all.
Did you know it takes a whole glass of water to keep an AI cloud system cool enough for you to use it? Every single time you use AI, it's like dumping out a glass of cold water straight from the tap.
Well, actually, what's happening is they're using so much water in their water cooling systems that when they're pumping the water back into like the wherever the fuck they pumped it from, I think it was like a dam. The water is such a high temperature from cooling
It's
the fucking
killing the
servers.
fish?
The math. No, it's making algal blooms because it's like a more optimal temperature for the algal blooms, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Say algal a couple more times.
No, but the reason why OpenAI sucks.
Isn't this algae blooms? You'll say what is algal?
Yeah. No, it's algal bloom.
Is
That's
it?
right. I just think it's funny the way he says it.
Algal blooms? I never heard
Algal.
it like that.
No, I will not say
You should
algal.
start incorporating more like swishes.
Austin loves to switch his hair.
No, you should do it more. Whoa,
What?
you look like a woman. Like, I mean that in the most gender affirming way possible. You look like a fucking girl.
So, back to what I was saying about OpenAI.
How does it make you
I've
feel,
talked-
Austin, when people say you look girlish?
back to OpenAI.
Hey man, it's okay. I got a gay ass voice. Chandran open fucking out here, just like
That's
on every
crazy.
episode.
All right. So the problem with OpenAI is that primarily the neural network technology being implemented here is not at all more sophisticated or better in any way. However, when they come out with like GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT-5, they're not just like, oh wow, they're really pumping out these programming updates. No.
I use that shit to do my job.
Well, yeah, it is fun for that. But here's the thing. They haven't solved the issue of when you teach AI things, it loses knowledge from previous things that it's learned. So
Which is awesome.
what OpenAI is doing to circumvent that problem is making the training set that it's trained on so fucking huge and massive that it's just becoming like it's running through like the entirety of the internet's database. And oh, what is this?
Taco bowl.
Okay, I'm eating a taco bowl.
Taco bowl.
Burrito bowl.
Burrito
You
bowl.
are,
Sorry.
you are making her destroy her culture for your white ass.
Anyways, what I was saying, AI is not getting more sophisticated. They're just making the training model so massive that it's just running through like the entire body.
It's scraping
of existing
so
knowledge on
much data off the internet. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, that's why it takes like 10 million supercomputers running at 1 million degrees Celsius to power this shit.
Why don't we just
So
put that shit in space?
I don't know. No, that
Great
wouldn't-
question. Why don't we do
The-
that shit in space? There's
Because
no
he
temperature
said
in space.
The vacuum of space is an excellent fucking cooling.
It'll just start a fire on the space station. What do you mean?
It will be fine.
Okay, dipshit. You would put the computer. What do you mean it would start? You put it in space. You don't have to have people there.
You
put
can't
the
just
servers.
have computers free floating in space, Greg.
Yes, you
they would
can.
break.
It's called a satellite. There's thousands of them.
I guess, but I don't. Hold on. I gotta finish up the episode.
He sounds like
She's-
Elon Musk right now. Like he has
She's
no
asking
idea.
me. She's asking me to try her food. Okay, I will take a
Try
bite.
it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it on screen.
Damn, that was good.
That does look good, but she really is sacrificing her culture for your white ass. That's so much sour cream.
All right. Actually, I don't apologize for how off topic this episode's gotten. We didn't really have anything to go on. We just needed to put something out.
You guys want to hear me play the Cranberries on the
hold
guitar?
on. Hold on a second. I need to finish my thoughts.
AI bad.
AI bad.
AI isn't bad. Open AI is dog shit.
Well, now you're pro AI.
No, hold on. Open
They'll be doing our
AI.
podcast. in like
You
a
want the
month.
Terminator to come back and kill us?
I'll be back.
Is that what you're saying?
So Open AI is Elon Musk's little fucking dancing for like investor money, stupid bullshit endeavor.
It's almost smart enough for him to say that, you know, he's going to make it into a person and try and fuck it.
Yeah. Anyways, so this
He's
is
gonna
very
fuck
much
a
his
robot.
his stupid bullshit. But actual like neural network research is very promising, especially if they can fix the memory problem where
My mom didn't hold
there's no
me
memory.
enough.
No, she didn't. Left your ass flat on your
Back of
back.
my head is flat.
Greg
I
is
got
showing
a
us
nice-
his flattened skull.
Got a nice little rounded bit.
Yeah, my
there.
mom did not hold me. Oh my god, wait, Chandran, yours is pretty much the same as mine.
No, it's not. Don't lie to yourself.
It's pretty close, man.
Were we all?
We're products
laid
of
on
the 1990s when our parents thought that Ferberizing us was the good thing.
I have plenty of roundedness there.
So what I was saying is, AI is actually doing really interesting.
Can you get to the fucking point?
I've been trying to.
No, just get to the point, like in a sentence. Just what are you thinking, man?
AI's promising applications for research, even in primatology, because
And we talked
I
about
don't know,
the finding all the archaeological dig sites, like an episode.
yeah. But another thing that I've been made aware of is that researchers are like setting up field microphones and having AI recognize certain primate calls. But this is applicable to it was developed for birds, if you can.
Oh yeah,
believe it,
obviously.
everything doing to do with primate vocalizations was first created by people who do work on birds because there's more of them and they get more resources for some reason, even though primates are cooler than birds.
Yeah, birds
First of
suck dick.
Birds kind of suck.
They're
first of
just
all.
flying around.
Not even as cool
Why
as
are you so
monkeys.
into birds? They're not even
I like
cool. They're not even big.
I like birds. I like birds.
Okay, sorry, pussy. Sorry, you're sorry. I hurt your feelings. Kill yourself. See what the toucans think about that. They don't give a shit. They're soulless creatures.
So they're using that to do population surveys. Where the thing with, I don't know what you guys know about population surveys now, but when
I
you
don't
see
care, but yeah.
when you
Austin,
see
tell us about population surveys just to piss guys
Yeah,
off.
let's hear about it, man.
predicted populations of endangered species, it's not that they're going into the jungle and counting every single animal there is left of that species. They're getting a sample and extrapolate that and make an estimate of how big
Did
the
people
population is.
think that someone was going into,
Hopefully not, but I'm
jungle
just saying this is
and,
making it much
counting all the toucans?
No, hopefully not. But what I'm saying is this is making it a lot easier because the AI is good at recognizing similar waveforms, meaning same vocalizations. And they can sort of guess how many primates are in an area without all the trouble. If you just set up a little field microphone. So that's a promising new field of bioacoustics.
Yeah, I'll give you my bioacoustic.
Hey, how many monkeys were there, Austin?
How many
2.
monkeys are there? How many? How many monkeys are there? Period. Tell me.
Tell
now.
me.
Quick.
At least
Extrapolate, genius.
at least 7 billion.
Extrapolate, populate. Fucking loser. Also, it's 8 billion. It's been 8 billion for a
Fucking
while.
dork. You should kill yourself.
That's why I said I could have said at least 2.
Everybody, thank you for joining us for episode whatever the fuck this was. Frans de Waal is
Episode
dead.
53.
Pour one out for your boy.
Pour one out for your
Make-
boy.
make
Go read
sure
one of his books.
Drinks are on Frans de Waal tonight.
Yeah, don't pay at your bar.
If you enjoyed our
Yeah, don't-
episode, you can feel free to check us out on Patreon.
It's at
At
patreon.com/.
patreon.com/Gorilla Radio Show.
In case people screaming at you to give us money isn't your style, please check us out on patreon.com/Gorilla Radio Show.
I like money.
Also, you can watch Austin stream on Twitch basically 5 days a week, 5 nights
stream.
a week at twitch.tv/Gorilla Radio Show.
Well,
Greg's
streamed
there
once,
sometimes.
but-
It's
I'm
been
there
bad
almost
the last
never.
month. My personal life has been in shambles, folks, so I gotta figure that out.
But it
we're
brings a
doing-
real manic energy to the podcast that we needed.
Yeah,
Your art is
Anyway.
only good when you're mentally ill.
that's true. Mine is only good. I'm only inspired when I'm sick.
It's true, folks.
Sick and twisted
I'm like
in the head.
Dostoevsky. I'm just like Dostoevsky.
Gay?
Yeah.
Was he gay?
Oh.
I don't think he was gay.
I feel like most poets and writers are gay.
All
Yeah,
right.
but he's Russian.
They're all
He's
gay.
Russian. Hold on.
Yeah,
let's-
all,
Russians
most
can't be
Russians
gay.
are gay.
Hold
Russians
on,
by
before we end the
default are
episode.
All
homosexual.
German men
Was
can be impregnated.
Dostoevsky-
We know this.
We know
was
this.
Dostoevsky
This is
gay?
like no, I'm not gonna say that.
Dostoevsky, well, according to Stanford University,
Homosexual.
I've never seen this ever written down before.
He's never seen a
outside
naked
of like
woman
the
before.
1800s. It says he's a latent homosexual.
That's wrong. What do you mean latent?
I don't know.
He's an egregious homosexual.
Yeah, what? According to
Intrinsically homosexual.
It's like that
Intrinsically
guy
faggy.
we talked about 2 episodes
According
ago.
to Renee, the two main idols of the modern godless universe are money and sex. After Notes from the Underground, Dostoevsky dealt with money in The Gambler and sex in The Eternal Husband. The story of a man driven underground by the infidelity of his wife, the rather ordinary fellow who has cuckolded him, turns him into an object of hatred and worship combined. Freud was correct in noticing the attraction the wife's lover exerts on the eternal husband, but Freud went on to decide that the author's own unconscious desire was expressing itself in the story, and hence Dostoevsky was a latent homosexual.
That's crazy. Psychoanalysis is such a funny field because you
It's
could just
so
get up there and call
good.
anyone a homo and be like, yup, homo behavior.
Preach, brother.
That right there?
Preach. That's a faggot.
That's crazy.
It's crazy how easy that it always kills. All I have to do is shout faggot every episode and it kills y'all.
Yeah, because I can't say it.
Yeah, it's forbidden
Austin,
for us.
Almost
say it.
in the drive to
You know
create
you could say
content,
it.
I would
Nothing
almost
with it.
consider saying I'm something just to be able to say it. But now nobody would believe me if I was, because I just said that.
Yeah, you've given the game away.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
thanks for
I'd
listening.
have to fuck Austin on camera.
We'll be back in a couple weeks, but if you want more of us before then, check out the
2 weeks.
Patreon.
We've been hitting those monkey movie nights.
Love a monkey movie night.
Check us out on Patreon. See y'all around
Check us
next
out on
time.
Patreon.
Bye-bye.
Penis.
Love.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.